It's Lord Mav back again on the voice recorder. Not doing it on the Anchor app. I can't do it. I don't got no internet right now, so I'ma just upload it when I get the internet, save the time. So I'm here. This is gonna be one long episode. I'm not gonna do no segments. I'm here talking about Trump again, because that's my dude. We talking about Donald Trump, right? So, the new thing people complaining about that they don't realize been going on through every president. Now we talking about the government shutting down. Now back in like 2014, it was like my second job I had, first time doing my tax shit, and I'm like, oh, this is a problem. But then come to find out, it's not really a problem. When you think about the federal workers not getting paid, all right, let me list it out. These are the problems. Niggas is talking about the government shutting down, and the first initial problem is they blaming Trump for it. I haven't read the background information. If he's saying he's shutting it down, for whatever reasons, if it's to get the wall built, then, you that's fine for y'all to be mad at that, right? But you got to realize that it's things at play, and Obama did the same thing where it's things. Obama did that with the executive orders. Trump. You saying Trump? He killing it with the executive orders, but Obama did the same thing in the time where we was talking about Congress is not trying to pass Obama laws. Now, us being regular people, just to talk about Obama real quick, the laws that they may come out with that we might think are fine, keep in mind that they have 100 pages. They documents be over 100 pages. So these niggas not only got to read that. You think about why would it be 100 pages? That means it's something important in them pages. We thinking as regular people, or why don't they just put it in one page and make it easier to read? That's because they make laws and then they make loopholes around these laws, and then they make background stuff that's like minor offenses that you could still, get roped into it with. So it might look fine to us as regular citizens, but to the people that's trained in legislature and that's trained in law, they might see something wrong with it, and that might be the reason why Congress was stopping Obama from doing a lot of the things that he was doing. We as citizens, once again, they always, us, not they, us, we always think about how could our lives be better, but the government has to think about itself first, in the same way somebody would tell you, think about yourself and keep yourself good, because if you're not good, then how could you take care of your children? It's the same thing with the government. It's like, if they don't keep themselves good, then they can't take care of us in the way that we asking for. Even though I don't really believe in none of this shit, but it makes sense, you know? So we don't know anything about the background stuff. So now we talking about Trump. He want to build the wall, right? It's a if you think about it, it's a new form of what we already have. If niggas can go in the news and say, yeah, we already have a wall, but there's some defenses in it that's broken up, and we got chains in some places. What's the difference between that and building an actual wall? A wall that nobody gonna go to on one side, unless you're trying to get through that specific wall for the reason that you want to get through. There's nothing wrong with that. So they blocking him from doing that. We thinking it's stupid. We thinking it's racist. They probably blocking it for monetary reasons on Congress side. So now he's doing what he has to do, or what he sees he has to do as a president, to force their hand a certain way. I know it was a problem before with Trump where, well, I believe it was Trump, where he was talking about somebody. He's like, I don't really care either way which way they vote on it. I just want them to get it done. Like, after a while, it was like, I don't even care if y'all follow what I want to do at this point. It's just like, just get it done so we can stop wasting money on this, because he heavy on the economics and stuff. So it's like, you can't down him for the simple fact that he's trying to do something to force their hand, because they're going to do it one way or the other, and it'll be the same way if, somebody talking to a grown person and they convince you to go commit a crime. It's like, you could blame them all you want, but at the end of the day, you still decided to do it. So Trump could do what he want, and it'll affect the country how it will. But in the end, he's going to get what he wants, or he won't. And it'll really be put upon Congress. because of the checks and balances of the country and shit. So then on to the little problems niggas is talking about, like federal workers not getting paid. I believe the norm is that people like in Congress, the politicians who are making the laws, they don't get paid in the period that they're making these decisions. You know, because they stole and they wasted all their time, so why should they get paid? I believe everybody else still gets paid because the money is still, going around. Um, the how do you call it? Like the paychecks, like it'll all keep going as long as it keeps going, and it'll keep going. Like the government is shut down right now, and you'll still wake up in the morning and go to work, and you'll still get paid, and the taxes will still be taken out of your check, and some of those taxes will be used already to won't even be used because when we talk about budgets, this is the crazy thing that niggas ain't thinking about. The budget for the year comes from the money from last year. That's everything. That's everything what niggas is talking about. The budget that you have for this year, for the federal workers that y'all niggas is talking about ain't about to get paid. How can they not get paid when the money for them has already been set aside at the beginning of the year? You know? All of that is already taken care of. It might be a problem next year, but as we see it, it's not a problem for what you call it, like regular federal workers. When we talking about niggas that work for the government, when we talking about politicians and them niggas not getting paid right now, or when the government shuts down, because that's something else. Like fuck this country, but like that's something else. Like it's a check and balance. Like the government is shut down. You can't have it in this state for too long. To motivate y'all to get shit done a little faster, y'all not gonna get paid during this time period. So that's smart right there. Not like they would need it in the immediate, like they would be starving or some shit. Them niggas get paid well. What's the other problem? Niggas not getting paid. Oh, the fucking taxes coming late. Sorry. Niggas get taxes, right? But that shit don't really matter. Cause you go a whole 364 days a year without getting your taxes every year. So it's like you still gonna move off your check. It don't matter if it come late, it's still gonna come. I think that's the when shit, you might want to check it. But anyway, I think like you could go without it for a little bit longer and it's still gonna come, so it's like why even complain about that? Which I forgot the third problem, so now the third problem will be taken up with my thought of if y'all niggas is so concerned about the checks not coming, y'all must not think they gonna come at all, which means the government is gonna make a drastic change and y'all need to start fighting against this shit. That's what I'm talking about for the third topic. Why not fight? Y'all niggas better get y'all shit together. If y'all really scared, like, on some serious shit, it's crazy that niggas could move from a super high of being under Obama and having a black president, and then being under what we call a racist, misogynistic, white dude, call him evil, say he gonna destroy the country. You don't believe in him. You do believe he gonna do all this crazy shit, and still you keep the country running. You know, on a daily basis, still doing the things that you do, not realizing the power that we all have. You know, people always talk about like it's impossible to get everybody together. People don't think about what they do every day. Like I'm looking outside right now, it's a hospital right there. The government is shut down tomorrow. Everybody who works at that hospital will still be at that hospital. Everybody outside doing their stupid shit will still be out there getting hurt, and they'll still go to the hospital, even though nobody even know that the government just shut down. Everybody's still doing their job in there. When you go to work, you still doing your job. The government could be shut down for a full month, and if they don't tell us on the news, we wouldn't know, because how would we know? Everybody's still working. Everything is still running as it should run, because it's been set up like that, and now it's up to us, the people, to just keep everything running. You go to school, you learn something, and you go run a hospital, and you teach the younger people, or you teach the newer people how to do what you do, you know? So niggas don't even need the government. I guess that I was talking about fighting the government, but fuck all that shit. I be on some peace shit. So I don't know. Niggas don't need the government. We are the government. We govern ourselves at this point. Because the government, not even on some crazy stuff, the government itself is just an idea. It's a list of ideas, just like you could say God is a bunch of ideas. Like that's a thought that I was on recently. It's like we are gods in ourselves. Like God sent down his son, right? His son. His son, they spoke about him. He carried the spirit of God in him, right? Now we already know God breathed life into us. So we carry the spirit of God in us, right? What was the difference between a regular person and Jesus or Yahweh Shah? The only difference was he didn't do the things that he wasn't supposed to do. Literally, that was the only difference. And we as regular people, or we see just like that, I call myself a regular person and therefore I stay a regular person. It's crazy. So I'm looking at him like, how could he not eat for 40 days? I can't even go a day without eating, you know? How could he do something like that? It's like, first of all, you ain't got the faith in yourself that you could do it. And then you ain't got the willpower to work to make it happen after that. And that's with the faith without works and shit. God can't come back if you don't have faith in yourself and have the work and have the diligence to do the work that you need to do. And then you'll become the God that you're supposed to be, you know? And that all ties into this government shit, man. It's something that you're supposed to be doing. But these niggas is stopping you. And all this shit is a distraction. Everything, niggas got layers of distraction, like Inception and shit, where niggas, like, that's why you gotta watch movies like that, where these niggas go into a dream, and then they go into a deeper dream, and then they go into a deeper dream, and a deeper dream. It's like, that's what this shit is out here. It's all layers of distractions. Because the real shit, right? The real shit was up top. I forget what the problem was, but they was trying to change somebody's mind, like change the will. They was trying to change the will, right? But they couldn't like fake it. But the true issue, right, is tie that nigga up, make him change the will, right? That's just it. But they wanted to do shit all sneaky, so they couldn't be traced. So it's layers upon layers. Out here, the regular shit would be for the government to literally just walk up and start putting us in chains and putting us to work in factories to build them nice houses. You know? But the layers, I'm gonna get into the rest of the shit because I can't cut it. The layers upon layers upon layers is, you know, you work to get your shit together. Oh, go ahead and try to become something in life. Hey, if you do this and this, you could get famous. You know what I mean? It's like mad different layers. But it's this good movie. I don't know if I said about it before. I don't know the name of it. I think it's called Metropolis or something like that, though. Or something like that. Metro something. Metropolis or Metro something. And I don't know what the hell it's about because it's black and white, it's silent, but it's about the future. And a scientist makes a robot. And I think he falls in love with that robot. He falls in love with that robot is what I meant to say. And then the robot turns real somehow, I believe. But the side story is some crazy imagery. You see the poor people. Well, you don't know that they poor people at first. You just see people working, and they working to keep the city running. And it's a machine that's literally eating them alive. As they working faster and faster throughout the day. And then they take their break for a little bit, and then they come back in, and then they go home. As they go home, another shift is coming in to keep the machine running. The machine being the government or the country that you live in. And then when you look at the machine, the entire purpose of the machine seems to just be to eat people and to keep the city running, you know? It eats you alive and then it makes you exhausted, you know, to the point where you die. And then they show you how the rich people are living, which is supposed to be like the Illuminati shit. Once you get to what they plan is to have us all working as hard as possible. And you see it now where they're trying to put it in us as kids, like work this hard and you could get an A. If you get an A, you'll get into a school easier. If you get into a better school easier, then people will look at you better once you start looking for a job. And it's like strive, work real hard to strive for these things. Who knows if they'll have this same system. If this shit is real, like I believe it is, then who knows when we in chains if they still got these systems and the people who really went hard to get these like high end jobs. What if they still going? Those gonna be the wardens and all of that. The niggas that's whooping other people or whipping, however you pronounce it. They gonna be doing that shit. They not gonna be doing regular shit that we doing because they so used to striving for something that is gonna be written in them, or even if it's not through them, then they children because they taught their children the same things and the same mentality. So it's gonna be them that's yo. You know what? I'm striving. I'm gonna get it done. Now I'm here. They ain't even gonna try. Them niggas just gonna end up the warden. One day they gonna have a whip in their hand, and they're gonna be already whipping your back. And they're gonna be like, "Hey, oh shit, yo, how I get here? Wasn't I just like digging holes?" And they're gonna be like, "Shit, I don't know, homie, but this shit hurt." That's what everybody gonna say. So basically, everybody's God. We are the government. The government is just an idea. If you ain't got no faith in this shit, then make something else. Because that's what's supposed to happen out here. Like, I'm really on this gang shit right now. Like, not on it. I'm on, like, information and research at this point. Like, that's what I want to research right now. Because I believe they were a force that if they didn't fight each other and focus on money so hard, focus on violence and focus on, like, fucking reputation within themselves, then with the numbers, the sheer numbers, they could have took over the country. If all the niggas, just like the Warriors, the movie, and you see in the beginning, I think this nigga called 5 people from each gang. Now we talking about the 70s, right? The 70s. Now we talking about the 70s where it was a bunch of different gangs. It was a bunch of different little gangs. Niggas was just making gangs in the same way like when I was in high school, niggas was making mad teams and shit. But we got now where you got mad different sets of Bloods and Crips. And then you got the other big gangs that I ain't gonna talk about because I don't know too much about them shits. So just imagine with the ones that's really known, if every set just sent 5 niggas. So y'all already got the common ground of being Blood, or on the other side, the common ground of being Crip. And then, if y'all got the common ground of trying to make something for yourselves, then y'all could come together, But they ain't take it that route. So that's why I'm interested in researching that shit. Just like, how do you start with you and maybe one of your friends or somebody you meet that you believe in something with, and end up having 10 people around you believing the same thing, and then 100 people, and then next thing you know, you got people in 5 states down that believe in your shit, Shit just all about getting everything together, In the present day, I don't know where the mic at no more. Hopefully y'all can hear this shit. In the present day, we got to get our shit together to own something. Because later on, you never know what might happen. Like, you could owning something now, but later on, you could use having people around you and having an army. So, or not even an army, we'll just call it family. People that believe in the same thing, like true family, not just something that you call just like blood or like anything. Like, I'm not talking the gang shit. I'm talking like actual like blood in your body. Because that's a real thin like connection, just to be, I was born next to you. So, not saying like a mother because that's natural, but just saying people in general. Like, I was born in a country, so I have love for this country. I was born and this was my sister or this was my brother, so I have to love this person. It's like, that's nonsense because they might not be the right kind of person. And it's like, that's why I feel the connections that you make with friends is more important almost than the connections with your family. Because you was taught to love your family, you know? From the beginning, you taught to love your family. But with your friends, that's just people you meet. And over time, you decide to keep some, you decide to let some go. And the ones that you really around is the ones you're around. And that's why when niggas grow up, they go see their family, but they friends always wherever they friends are, they chilling. They go do something, you know. Them niggas might be home and they'll invite their friends over for some Thanksgiving shit. You know, have a cookout with their friends and their family. That's like some once in a blue type joint. But yeah, so get everything together, get your family, whoever they are. Try to build up your own little set. Get ready to be with some people you got some stuff in common with, because the niggas that's trying to rule over us, they got stuff in common in that they trying to rule over us. We need to be common that we want to be free and we going to be free. But we need everybody and shit. So that's real shit right there. That was a real nigga thought. I ain't going to upload that till whenever. It's fucking Lord Mav. Black Moon Pack. Black Moon Mob. Black Moon everything, nigga. Peace.